Hi všichni, hello everyone and welcome to another video of this module. Last time we talked about the February 1948, today we are going to talk about 1968. So just for the context, we know what happened in February 1948. The Communist Party took over and our country became a communistic totalitarian country. So let me tell you more about how the life back then used to look like. Everybody had a job. The unemployment didn't exist. However, you couldn't just do any job. The government decided what jobs are needed and what people will do them. Shops often lacked goods that were common in the West. People stood in long lines to get bananas, oranges, or even clothes. All media was controlled by the state. All the news only showed how great the communism was. If you said something bad against the regime, you could be followed by the secret police, you could go to prison, you could die as well. Children were taught that communism was the best thing, and of course traveling to Western countries was completely forbidden. All the borders were guarded, and anyone who tried to pass through them, they either went to prison or they were sentenced to death. So basically, anybody who was against the regime, either writers, students, actors, singers, anyone who was against it was being followed by the secret police, STB. Well, and now let's have a look at what happened in 1968. In 1968, Alexander Dubček became the leader of the Communist Party. He wanted to create something called socialism with a human face by introducing reforms like this. More freedom of speech, ability to travel abroad, less state control of the economy and society. People started to get more hope and they were thinking that maybe something could finally change. As you know, Czech Republic, Slovakia, back then Czechoslovakia, was in literal heart of Europe. It was the border between the Eastern Europe and Western Europe. So the Soviet Union was really scared that Czechoslovakia would break away from it and they would want to get away from the Soviet Union, basically. Everybody gets so much more excited. Everybody had this thought of a better future. So if they broke away, it would mean a big impact to the Soviet Union. So what happened? What happened was that from the night of 20 to 21st of August 1968, Soviet and Warsaw Pact soldiers, more than 200,000 of them, with more than 2,000 tanks, entered Czechoslovakia. The invasion was held by Soviet Union, but the Warsaw Pact soldiers were also involved. So there were troops from Poland, Bulgaria, Hungary, and also East Germany. The troops told people, the Czechoslovakian people, that they were sent for help, to help them with getting back the regime, basically. The invasion was pretty fast. The troops took over the key cities, mainly Prague, and they shut down all the media. You will see it perfectly, this entire process of the invasion, you will see it perfectly in a quite recent film, Vlny, The Waves, from 2024. If you'd like to see how it looked like, I highly suggest you to watch this. The Czechoslovakian people resisted quite peacefully. They were standing in front of the tanks, they were shouting at them, they were painting stuff on the tanks, for example. There were a lot of protests. People were in the streets waving the Czechoslovakian flag, shouting for freedom. But unfortunately, the government was forced to give up. Remember how I told you about Alexander Dubček, who made all the new reforms like freedom of speech, traveling abroad, and so on and so on? Well, the president Ludvík Svoboda and Alexander Dubček were taken to Moscow. They were forced to sign an agreement to end all these reforms. After all this happened with Dubček and Ludvík Svoboda, the people got angry, of course. The invasion became very violent. Many people were injured, a lot of people died, to be more precise, 137 people. And the August 1968 marks the beginning of a period we call normalization. Normalization was a process when the Soviet soldiers were in our territory trying to get back the regime, to put back all the things that were, according to them, destroyed by Alexander Dubček and his reforms. They wanted to put it back where it was before. After that, Alexander Dubček was removed from the power and Gustav Husak took over him. He also became a president and he slowly started putting back the life where it was before. Czechoslovakia became way more repressive. Again, there was a big and strict control about everything. Media, education, traveling. Now to a little bit more positive page. Even though this period of normalization lasted for more than 20 years, and in total we were a communist country for more than 40 years, I said we were because we are not anymore, because all of this has a positive end in some way, and about that positive end we will talk about in the next video that will be dedicated to the Velvet Revolution in 1989, and I'm just talking about it, I'm just getting so emotional. I don't know if you can see it. You cannot see it probably, but my eyes are getting a little bit waterish and I have goosebumps on my hands and on my arms, not on my hands. I just hope, guys, that you like this video, and as I said, definitely watch the film The Waves, Vlny. It was directed by Jiří Madl, who is a pretty cool and young director, and he made this film. It's full of amazingly talented actors, and this film was nominated for several awards, and I think it's definitely worth to watch for you to understand better the context, for you to see how it looked like. This film is about the media, about the radio station in Prague. So there you will see how the Soviet troops totally cancelled the media. You will see it there, and you will see also how the regime completely changed the people. But there's a lot of interesting stories in this film, and I highly suggest you to watch it. I think you will like it. It's very nice, like in terms of cinematographics. It looks very nice. The camera is really good. I don't understand much about films, but I really loved this one. I love every film that is dedicated to our past. And another film that you might also like is Pelíšky, Cozy Dance. It's on YouTube with English subtitles, and it also shows the life before 1968, the period of hope. But then at the end, you know what comes, the 1968, the film ends with 1968, and it shows how the families separated, how it got destroyed, and it shows a lot of family stories, and it's a very tragic comedy film, I would say. It is a very nice film. It's a typically Christmas film. For some reason, we watch it every Christmas. It is a little bit Christmassy, indeed, and it's a very good film. So, Pelíšky and Vlny, highly suggested, 10 out of 10. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed the video and hope to see you in another one where we are going to talk more positively. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and see you in the next video. Bye!